What's up, guys? Haven't made a video in a while on YouTube, but today I got the Nikon D3100 and do a little tour and a little review about the camera. So I'll go into a different camera view and let's get started. We'll start with the lens. This lens is a kit lens. Comes with the camera. It's a 18 to 55 millimeter. It's a 3.5 to 5.6. The lens has two switches. A is for autofocus, M is for manual focus. When I switch it to manual focus, I'm able to focus manually. I switch to automatic. I turn on the camera. And then the second switch on the bottom is VR. VR, when you're taking a picture or anything you're doing with the camera, and accidentally when you're shaking or something, it reduces the shake in the camera and makes the picture come out clear. On the side of the camera, you have one button here. That's for the flash. So when you're in manual mode, turn on the camera. When you press this button, a flash pops up. The second button right here, FN. This is the function button. When you're in this view and you press the function button, you can see that it highlights the ISO sensitivity. By scrolling with this, you're able to change your ISO very quickly without going into the settings. So that's the function. Below that, I don't know if you can see, right here, there's a button. You press it and you're able to take off the lens. To put it back on, there's a white dot right there and a white dot right here. You align those two dots like so, and you slide it back in. On top you have your power switch, silver button, that's your shutter button to take a picture. When you press it lightly, your camera focuses. When you press it fully, it takes a picture. On the right side, you have a can you focus it? You have a square with a plus and a minus. That, when you're in manual mode and you're in this view, you press this button and hold it, and by scrolling you can see I'm changing the f-stop. That's the aperture. If you don't know what the aperture is basically a hole. And this hole, well, the aperture controls the amount of light that goes in, that your camera lets in. So as the numbers get higher, the hole gets smaller, so less light goes in. When the numbers get smaller, you can see the hole gets bigger and more light comes in. Next to that, you have an info button. The info button, when your camera is turned on and the screen is black, you press the info button. Basically, that's what it does. It just turns on your screen. Right here, you have a switch that does multiple things. First, when it's in this mode, it's S, single frame. That just takes one picture. Then you have a square with multiple arrows pointing down, or multiple squares basically. That means you're in multi-frame. Multi-frame is taking multiple shots really quickly. So back in single mode, there's only one picture. Now let's go down. After multi-frame, you have a circle with like a line. That's the timer. When you go into, let's see, when you go into the setup menu, you'll find this, self-timer delay. And there's two settings, there's 10 seconds or 2 seconds. I usually have it at 10 seconds, but I rarely use it. So the timer does, basically it does, when you're taking like a family picture, you press the shutter button and the LED indicator right here starts flashing. And then you'll hear the beeping and the flashing, and that will start the countdown for 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, it will take the shot. That's basically it. And then next, a box with a Q. That's basically just quiet mode. In quiet mode, I don't even use that mode because it supposedly makes your camera shoot quietly, but it doesn't really make a difference. And then now we're at the dial. Now your dial gives you different settings for the types of modes you can use. So if you don't know what the images mean, you can go into here. Here we have the magnifying glass with a minus sign, and you have like a little square with a question mark right there. When you press that in auto mode, while pressing and holding that button and scrolling this, shows you all the modes you can go through and tells you all about them, what they're used for, like aperture to blur the background, or yeah. And also what's cool about this, the guide, if you don't know anything about your camera, you just got it, or you're like a beginner, this shows you everything. This is basically like a manual. Instead of reading it on paper, you have it in here. So going around, then you have the scrolling. This controls your scrolling. This controls you when you're in manual mostly. When you scroll, that's your shutter speed right there. Shutter speed, that's how quickly, like the higher I go. Let's go to 4,000, and let's see if you could hear it take a picture. That was pretty fast. And then if I go back down to like, let's see, let's do 2.5. You'll hear the difference, how slow it is. It's a lot slower. So that's what that does. And by holding that button that I showed you earlier, the scrolling also controls the aperture. Then you have this button, AEL, AFL, and it's like a little lock right there. When you have it in autofocus, listen to me focus. Okay, so it focuses. When you press this button and try to focus again, it doesn't let you. It locks it. When you let go, it focuses again. You have this right here. This is for your live mode. And then the red button in the middle, that's to start recording your video. Alright. Then you have like your D-pad, so with the OK button. Then you have your trash. That's for basically just deleting your photos, whatever you don't like. Then you have your screen right here on the left side. This is when you click it, goes into all your whole album. Say you don't want one, and just press this and press it again, and just deletes it. menu that just basically goes into your menu. Go through all your settings and whatever you want. This, the magnifying, and this. When you're in here, you could zoom in, zoom out. And this button, the eye basically, you click this, goes in here, press it again, quickly lets you change all your settings, like your white balance, your ISO, your focus mode, metering, all your delighting, your moving mode. This camera also lets you record in 1080p, full resolution, 1080 at 24 frames per second. And you could, all these types of settings you could shoot at for 10 minutes, all of them. On the right side of the camera, you flip this. On top you have your GPS input if you want to buy that separately for a camera. Then you have your USB input for like not charging, but if you want to, well, you could charge probably. Don't really use that. I just use my battery charger for the camera. Then you have your mini HDMI to connect your camera straight to your TV and watch your photos or videos. And then on the bottom, if you could see that, that's your AV out. So like connecting your audio and video to your TV also if you don't have HD. And this socket for accessories that you could buy, like your external flash. And then on the right side of the camera, if you flip this open, you have your SD card. Now for DSLRs, digital single lens reflex cameras, these are pretty much important because you need one to take pictures. It saves everything on this card. And there's different sizes. I have a 32 gig, and also it's important to look at the speed. But mine, well, basically I'll tell you. Oh, there we go. If you could see that, it says 10 right there, and that's class 10. That's the type of, that's how fast the camera writes it. I mean, yeah, that's how fast the pictures from your camera are written to your SD card, so it's faster. There's different classes. You could get like a 4 or a 6 class that's a lot slower, but probably better to get the faster speed. Your camera stores your photos on the card faster and doesn't lag between. So that's your SD card. On the bottom of the camera, you have this lid. You take out your battery, and then right here is your tripod socket. Right, so I hope you liked that video, and my opinion on this camera. I'm basically a noob, as you can say. I'm an amateur to photography, and I picked this camera. It's a good starter camera. Can't really say anything about it. Well, other than that, if you're looking for a camera to take videos, this thing shoots 1080p. Video's okay, but you can't connect the external microphone to this, which isn't that good. But this is more for a picture camera. So if you're looking for a picture camera and you're starting out, this is a good camera. Videos, it's okay, but that microphone is not that good. The pictures, the quality of the pictures is like amazing. This thing has, I got some notes written down, it has 14.2 megapixels, which is good. I was debating on getting this camera, Nikon or Canon. I don't know which one it was, but the Canon, I don't know, it's just the feel of this camera and like the options and like the menus are just so much better. I just like how when I picked this up, I just knew I would like this. Do your shooting, when I started out using manual mode now and doing all the like settings with the aperture and the shutter speed, it's really good. So yeah, leave me comments for other videos I should make, any videos, like other videos I should talk about this camera, or anything you guys want. So just let me know, leave me a comment, send me a message. Thumbs up, and peace out.